bottling line, but those are crowlers. So people can line pick home.
These are big boys.
Call the roll, please.
You scared them. Mayor, you scared them.
Scared me.
She jumped in the middle of her story.
Activate my heart again.
Mayor Bain.
I'm here.
Vice Mayor Zapata.
Here.
Councilman Best.
Present.
Councilwoman Mitchell.
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda.
Yes.
We have tonight is my turn to say invocation. Please stand.
Imagine that.
Lord, please forgive me for pounding that gavel a little too hard. I apologize. I say my prayer for Larry Mills, who's retiring from the post office, to hope for him to have a good retirement and a prosperous and happy retirement with his wife. Amen. Amen. We say the pledge. We have the post, or the, I don't know what to call the post. Troop.
Brownies.
The Girl Scout troop, 564. Come up. You're going to say the pledge for us. Flags right here. Right hand over your heart. When do you start? There you go. Somebody say aye. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. They have something to do? But let me introduce them first. Okay.
Something to do.
Don't stay there. Don't stay there. Stay there.
Opening day of Little League.
Okay. We got a
doesn't
few
get
things
better
for
than
you
that.
here. We have a little, I don't know what you call it. What do you call it?
A toy?
Yes, that's what it is. Okay, let me have your name and what grade you're in.
My name is Bea Rodriguez, and I'm in 3rd grade.
Oh, good. And you?
I'm Emily Bellis, and I'm in 3rd grade. I'm Isabella Benitez, and I'm in 3rd grade.
And you wanted to tell me the 3 things you wanted to grow up to be. Your name and what grade you're in.
I'm 8 years old, and I'm in 3rd grade.
And the 3 things you want to grow up to be.
A scientist, a geologist, and an artist.
Well, I hope you make it. I hope so.
Hefty goals.
I'm Maria Lombardi, and I'm 8 years old, and I'm in 3rd grade.
3rd grade. And you?
Claire Sammy, and I'm in 3rd grade, and I'm 8 years old.
And what do you would like to be?
I don't know.
You don't know yet? That's okay. It's okay
Easy.
not to know. Here, I got one for all of you.
That's one.
Hold on. Did somebody say they wanted a special color? Me. Yeah?
Yeah, it isn't what you wanted.
Okay, they can go ahead. Whatever.
Oh, they have a little thing. All right.
Okay. Who wants to hold the mic?
Me.
Of course. Oh, they each have one to pass down. Who goes first? Is there any order? Are they in order?
Yes.
Okay, go.
We're in order.
Wait, do I read this now?
Yeah, go.
Hi, my name is Bea Rodriguez. Hi, my name is Bea Rodriguez. My mom and I did an experiment. We watched 2 areas where there is a speed sign. We saw many cars drive too fast. Out of the cars, 9 drove so fast that they should have a ticket.
Okay, thank you. I think you should grow up to be a police officer. All right, you're next.
Hi, my name is Emily Bellis. I live by South Drive, and there are a lot of drivers who can drive fast. Sometimes at night we can hear the cars driving, and it is scary.
Okay. And this is something to do about speeding in Miami Springs? You're sweet to bring them up here to do this. There you go.
Okay. Hi, my name is Isabella Benitez, and I'm here with my Girl Scout Troop 564. Today I'm going to talk about the dangers of speeding in our community. The faster you go, the longer it takes you to stop. You double your chances of crashing. People can die or be injured as a result of speed-related crashes. Remember to save lives, not time. Speed is just as dangerous as driving drunk. Please help us make an impact in our community. Thank you for your time.
You got it.
Hi, my name is Chloe Oliva. I use the data Bea had in her experiment. If those drivers were given a ticket, the ticket would cost $169 each. This means the city of Miami Springs would issue $1,352 in tickets in just 20 minutes of work. Hi, my name is Maria Lombardi. I would like to add that we need more police presence at Hook Square during rush hour. My grandparents live nearby, and it is not fair to see blocked intersections. Usually at every light during rush hour, I found out that each time a driver does this, the ticket costs $179.
Hi, my name is Zoya Sammy. I live by Princefield Park area, and I have careful crossing street because many times people drive too fast. I had a dog named Kelly who was hit by a driver, and I don't know who did it, but I know it might be because they were driving too fast.
All right, thank you, girls. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Oh. Thank you.
One person.
Each for everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, girls.
Here,
Thank you.
over here. Over here.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Is it Larry's next, right? Larry Mills?
Yeah.
Larry, you want to come up?
I noticed that earlier, Larry.
Mr. Bain.
What picture are you talking
Miss Wilson that I had on when she was.
about? Miss Wilson? I've been
Okay.
out of town all week. Where did you put it, Larry?
Mr. Bain.
Let's let these girls chill out. Good night. We have
They were awesome.
a beautiful plaque here for Larry. He's a letter carrier, a recognition of 42 years of dedicated service to the city of Miami Springs, the United Postal Service. Presented this day, the 24th day of September, 2018. Larry's retiring after the 42 years. Larry and I go back to when my son John,
Both of them.
Nick,
Got two sons.
well, I was gonna get to him. Nick and Alan Prada.
Exactly.
He started the three boys in golf, and they had successful in it because of Larry and the good man that he is. And I know that a lot of the people that he serviced over the years is going to miss him in his short pants and his skinny legs. Always, whenever you saw him, always had a smile and always a wave. And Larry, I hope, like I said in my prayer, that you do good and you have a good time. All right, you got it.
Larry, bring your wife so you can take a picture with your wife.
Yeah, come on up.
Mills. All right, this is Miss Mills.
Miss Mills, how do you put up with him? 40 years you've been married. 40 years. Come on.
Okay, thank you.
Wait,
Larry,
wait.
Larry. Larry, I got to mention something being you here, and your wife's here. I've got to mention this. It was about 8 or 9 years ago. Tom Lopez, you might have been coaching one of the teams. I was umpiring a game on Prince Field. And it was about probably the 5th inning or so. And all of a sudden, somebody said, hey, Blue, time. I look out in left field, and it's this one walking right through the outfield delivering mail on a Saturday afternoon.
But that's because he forgot to give it on Friday. What are you going to do in your retirement? What do you guys?
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah,
Do you have
Larry.
any children?
Larry, good luck to you, sir.
Well, congratulations, Larry. I hope to see you around, though,
At the golf course?
at the golf course.
At the golf course, right.
Dollar a hole.
That's a true story.
That's dangerous.
Okay, we have the swear-in.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the
Go ahead.
council. I think it's appropriate that the young ladies were mentioning more officers. I'm swearing in 2 officers today and an auxiliary officer. So, please come up. Mr. Ronnie Gonzalez is 26 years old. He grew up in the Flagami area of the city of Miami. He is married and has his wife here, his 2-year-old son, and some of his family members here. He graduated from the police academy not too long ago, and he's working on completing his 2-year degree from Miami-Dade College. Miss Mallory Rodriguez, who was born and raised in Virginia Gardens, she attended Ronald Reagan Senior High and graduated in 2013. She worked at Miami Springs Rec Center for about 4 years. And I thought this was going to be packed with Rec Center. Oh, there you go. We got some representatives from the Rec Center. And she's also here with her family and friends and a couple of classmates from her police academy class. She completed her 2-year degree in criminal justice in 2017, and she graduated from the police academy in June of this year. So right now, if you would all please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Florida against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, to uphold and enforce the laws of the United States, the State of Florida, the County of Miami-Dade, and the City of Miami Springs. I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservations or purposes of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of police officer of the City of Miami Springs, acting to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
All right.
Now, Officer Gonzalez has asked his wife to pin on the badge, and Officer Rodriguez, her father. Yes.
Father's 26 years old. Young man.
There you go. Perfect.
Got it?
There you go.
That's fine.
Congratulations.
To the family, I want to welcome you because, and we have lots of law enforcement officers here from the Miami Springs Police Department. I have a retired colleague of mine from the City of Miami Police Department who also went on to become chief in North Carolina. And you hear the words, the family. And we are a family in good times and in bad. So, but I also congratulate you for the foundation that you set. These 2 young folks, because when I called them into my office for the final interview, I told them, and this is a fact, to hire 1 officer, I go through between 35, 40, 50 applications. Because like most organizations, we want to pick the very best. So thank you for the foundation that you instilled in them to bring them here today. Congratulations to you too. Now make sure he takes you to dinner, okay? You want to take a picture?
That's what happens. Uh,
You care about him.
you
Want
want?
to say something? No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief, hold the mic.
Okay.
Hold the mic.
Yes, sir.
We're getting a new system.
You getting a new system? Okay. Now, as I briefly mentioned, we're also swearing in an auxiliary officer, the first time that we have an auxiliary officer program, and I am extremely happy to be swearing in a colleague of mine, a friend of mine of many, many years, Dave Magnuson. Dave. Now, you're probably wondering why he's not in uniform. Auxiliary officer takes a special tab under the patch that basically says auxiliary, and we've ordered them, but they didn't come in time. But I need to talk to you a little bit about Dave. I've known Dave since 1985, when he went through the police academy, and I was actually his training sergeant. He rose through the ranks of the Miami Police Department as an officer, a sergeant, lieutenant, a commander, and he worked all the divisions. He received the Officer of the Year award in 1988 and the Florida Retail Federation Officer of the Year in 1989. He has 2 gold life-saving medals, and when he worked in tactical operations, he actually reduced police-involved shootings by 60% and complaints by 50%. He went on to retire as a major, and for the last 3 years, he was the chief of police in Havelock, North Carolina, Cherry Point Marine Corps Air Base, which is right next door. So he worked a lot with our military and revamped and worked on all the policies. And when I heard that Dave was interested in becoming a reserve or auxiliary officer, I said, I'm snatching him because of his experience. He's going to be working for us for 16 hours a month free of charge and bringing that experience to help us finish up all our policies as well as some other projects, because my goal is for in 2019 to get Miami Springs Police Department fully accredited, and he's going to help us out on that. He's here with his wife Rosa, who I've also known for a long time. From the Deaf School of Government Leadership, the FB, and the Senior Management Institute for Police. He's an avid boxer. He did Golden Gloves, 7 boxing, and Lewis.
That's too bad.
So, Dave, if you would please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Dave Magnuson, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Florida against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, to uphold and enforce the laws of the United States, the State of Florida, the County of Miami-Dade, and the City of Miami Springs, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservations or purposes of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of auxiliary police officer of the City of Miami Springs, acting to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations, Dave. Thank you very much.
35 years ago, I was taking orders from you in the academy, and some things I guess don't change now. But it's an honor, and really, really out to the range the other day and coming a couple times throughout the department, seeing the men and women of the department it is like a family. You're right, and it's got a heck of a department, and I'm proud to be here and proud to be working with a person such as you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. We have a presentation. We're going to replace the retirement. Armando, he's not going to be, so we're going to have 11B, a presentation by Justin.
Yes,
Parnell.
I'd like to introduce Justin Parnell from Superior Systems, who's going to give you a presentation on the software for the building department. We also have a resolution on 11B that we can consider after the presentation.
Good evening, Mayor, Honorable Council. Thanks for having me. My name is Justin Parnell. I'm the account executive for Superior. We provide your community development and finance software and have such for the past 25 years. We currently serve over 1,600 agencies serving 175 million citizens. As you'll see on the screen, a lot of these are your neighbors, and we've got great traction here in the state of Florida. The solution that the city is looking at is a modular solution, and these are the different modules that come with the solution. It's geocentric, meaning that everything ties to the address of the parcel, so that when someone comes in and inquires about activity on a parcel, they can see all the permits, all the projects, all the code enforcement cases and complaints, allowing everybody to work in a non-siloed effect with one system. In addition to this is both the eTrack-It and the iTrack-It capability, which will be paramount for the city. iTrack-It will allow you to result inspections in the field instantaneously, and also provide feedback for building inspections, code enforcement cases, and allow the code enforcement officers to create cases in real time while they're out there in the field, decreasing on the double data entry that they're having to come back in here and then put in their information from the day. In addition to that, there will be a forward-facing citizen access portal, which will provide your citizens and contractors with 24/7 access to information. Where their building permit is, they can submit complaints, they can pay fees, they'll be able to apply for business licenses, they'll be able to renew their business licenses online, which will be a huge time saver here at the city, as well as work with other agencies intercollectively, allowing them to log in and still provide electronic information without at no additional cost to you. So some of the benefits for the staff is going to be the decrease of data entry. That's also going to increase the city's data integrity and allow you to mine your data a lot better with the robust reporting and search capabilities. The mobile inspection resulting in the field will give you instantaneous feedback from those inspections that the building inspectors are doing, as well as code enforcement officers, as well as the advanced self-service options for the public to search for information, submit complaints, schedule inspections, apply for a business license. Simple over-the-counter permits can be done 100% online without any city interaction. So the benefits for the public as well, again, the 24/7 access to information. They'll be getting emails sent to them throughout the process, depending on what type of record it is, letting them know what's going on and when they can expect the next steps. The self-service portal will allow them to search for information, submit complaints, and do typical reporting that otherwise they'd be calling or coming into the counter to do, as well as mapping functionality. Some of the information that we've been able to do on return on investments with similar agencies in Florida. We have some agencies that are doing over 40,000 inspections per year on iPads. They're a little bit larger than Miami Springs. I don't think that would be the exact amount that you guys would see, but on average they're saving 2 to 4 minutes per inspection result, and then this can end up saving $40,000 to $50,000 in labor annually. And again, with the online applications, 40% of the permits can come in online, which will free up both people at the counter as well as provide them more access to information online. I had a video of some testimonials for some other Florida clients, but I'll forward that to Erica and so she can distribute it, because I guess there was something going with the audio. So it'd be good to hear from some of those other agencies in your area that have put this technology forward and are using it today. That being said, are there any questions?
I have a question there. Now the data, is it kept on your end or is it kept with us?
The city currently is a hosted customer, so we hold your data and we will continue to with this. But we will take the current data and we will migrate it into the new system so that all your historical data will remain intact.
Okay, how about security?
Well, the solution that you're going to from what is called Novaline today to the Track-It solution is actually more secure than the current solution that you're on. And it's all hosted in Rackspace, which is a Fortune 500 hosting center. So all that's in line with the standards and protocols.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely.
That's all I have, Mike.
I have a question, Mayor. Will this require?
I'm sorry.
It'll require additional training for our staff?
It will.
How to use, how
Yes.
extensive, how complicated is that going to be, how to use the new system compared to what they're used to?
The system they're using today is far more complicated. We came and did a presentation for the city, and just the intuitiveness, and if you typically know how to work with computers, it works and functions a lot better, and we will train all of your end users on the solution itself, on your configuration for the city of Miami Springs, so that working with their data and your permits and code enforcement cases really allows them to get up speed a lot faster.
And how about for the residents utilizing the system? How easy is it for someone to go online and actually quickly access the information, or do they really need to be familiar with how to use the system?
Great question. So it needs to be intuitive because you can't train the public, right? So it's built with that in mind going through, and there's also what we call really user-friendly directions. So when they click on something, it'll tell them what to expect, the documentation that they might need to apply for a water heater online. Again, but it's very intuitive for those exact reasons that we can't train, anybody who would be pulling a permit or a business license in Miami Springs, but you can walk them through there and show them how quickly and easy and intuitive it is to use.
Good.
Through the chair, is this system exclusively just for the building department, or is there any other applications that you can think of that might?
Great question. So typically in community development departments, it's used by building, code enforcement, business licensing, and planning and zoning. And so you'll have the capability for all of those departments to be working on the one system as opposed to separate siloed systems.
Is this system also utilized in law enforcement?
It is not. We provide public safety software, but the solution that I'm referencing today is not a public safety solution.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
I have one more question. Is this going to eliminate the paper applications altogether, or will residents have the option?
Residents will have the option, definitely. We do have agencies that are 100% paperless, but you'll still be able to have the capability to come in, input that information, and then attach it and scan it electronically. So you can do a mix. The goal, obviously, for any agency is continuing to move, to a more green and paperless effect. So it'll get you there as well as provide you a ramp.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. You want to go ahead and do
Let
the
me read
resolution?
the memo and the resolution.
It's 11B, William.
This is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, approving Superior LLC for the purchase, installation, and maintenance of the Trackit software system, providing for a waiver of competitive procurement, providing for authorization, providing for implementation, providing for an effective date. This is a recommendation by the Building Department that Council waive the competitive bid process and approve the purchase of the Trackit software in the amount of $239,982 to upgrade the building code compliance, local business tax, and zoning software through our current vendor, Superior. The building's accrued technology fee fund will cover the cost of the program. The city has been using Superior Naviline Community Development Solutions since 2004. While the solution has served us well for numerous years, it no longer meets the needs of the city. Superior offers a migration path to the Trackit Community Development Solution. The Trackit solution is far more robust than the current Naviline software. There will be efficiencies gained in numerous areas. However, we have highlighted some of the areas below, and there's a list of areas that the Building Department has provided for you. I have Robert and Ulysses here in case you have any specific questions.
I got one. Is there an annual fee?
Going forward, there's an annual maintenance fee.
There will be an annual fee, and then also this is out of their fund. It's not out of the general budget. This is out of the money that they've got.
This does not affect the general fund.
Does not affect the general fund. Okay. You want to say something?
I had a question for both of them. If you could just let us know if you anticipate any major hiccups with switching over.
Well, I mean, that might be a question for Justin.
No, I meant with your staff.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I've seen it. I've seen the program myself. I saw it in Pinecrest and Miami Lakes. I think it's very simple, easier than what we're using now, effortless, I think.
And the best thing is, because we did look into other programs, because they're a Superior company, they can completely migrate and accommodate to our financial system that's remaining. So it's going to be a lot simpler for it to tie in with this program than another agency that has never worked with what we currently have in the finance department.
Makes sense.
Mayor, do you need additional hardware?
Additional hardware? I don't think so.
Because the solution is hosted, we incur all the cost on that, and that's built into the annual cost. And currently, we're already hosting your information, so it's literally just taking it and building it into a new environment with a new tech backend.
Okay, so you guys will provide any hardware
Yep,
they need?
we're doing that today, and we'll continue to do that.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
You got one, sir. Motion to move it.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
Jaime, you said a second.
Oh, sorry.
Councilman. Okay, call a vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Bez? Best.
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell.
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda.
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Oh, you're happy about that, huh?
I promised Ron Gordon,
Ron
who should hire me, that I would try my best to get this program, updated, and mainly for the residents, so they could easily, from their home, access their permits, schedule inspections. And right now, we're having a difficult time doing that.
Currently, there's no good program that the program that they have online, I actually had to disable it because it was actually intervening with their permit process.
Okay.
So it's
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Hey, Ulysses,
But I still could come get paid. I still could do it paperwork-wise, right?
Yeah.
Right, Robert? I need to do it that
I
way.
guess at the end of the day, you owe Ron G a call, huh?
I gotta call him, yes.
No, you don't.
Yes,
No.
you do.
We did it here.
Yeah, but he had to bring
He's
it,
in
though.
Georgia.
Update.
Thank you very
Update
much.
Ron. Update Ron.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we have open forum. Anybody to sign up there? City clerk? Nothing? Nobody signed up for anything? Oh, wow. Shucks.
Yeah, right.
We go to 6A, September 10th, 2018, regular council minutes.
Motion to
I need a
move, Mayor.
motion.
Second.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata.
Yes.
Councilman Best.
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell.
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda.
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Boards and commissions, none. No reports. Chris, how you doing? We have a presentation from William Alonzo.
Yes, in your packet under
8A.
item 8A, you have a memo that you had requested at the last meeting showing some of the significant items that are included in the 18-19 budget. You wanted to go over this, the two resolutions for the budget tonight. So I prepared a memo and I listed, there's 11 bullet points. You want me to read them all, or?
Well, I think we got to go ahead and recognize that we included maybe three, read in three.
Three also, number 3, you mean, or read 3 of them?
Well, number 3. We'll
Number
read 'em all.
3,
Go ahead, take them all, do them all.
Okay.
I'm not getting any help up here. Nobody's saying anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. Read them all.
Here.
Let Tammy do it.
During the September 10th, 2018 public hearing, a listing of all items to be included in the fiscal year 18-19 budget. Below is the detailed listing of the items funded for the fiscal year 18-19. Following are the more significant items included in this budget. 1. The initial proposed budget maintains the millage of a current 7.3575, provides a surplus of approximately $121,000. 2. The proposed fiscal year 2018 budget includes the addition of 1 police officer, which will increase the number of uniformed officers from 43 to 44. This is the first increase in at least the past 20 to 30 years. Police budget also includes replacement of the existing computer software, which has become outdated and inefficient. 3. Budget also includes $4,500 to upgrade the sound system in council chambers. Yay! Number 4.
I didn't read that. It doesn't say that.
No window, Erica.
Erica, you
Give her a wall mural.
4. The fiscal year 18-19 budget includes an estimated $261,000 in debt service payment to cover the first payment for the senior center construction loan. 5. The public works budget includes the addition of 2 maintenance workers, 1 to help the building maintenance staff and 1 to help with public properties functions citywide. 6. The fiscal year 18-19 budget includes 3% COLA for all general employees. Total cost of this is approximately $112,058. The police budget includes a 3% pay increase for all uniformed officers in accordance with the current contract terms. 7. This general fund budget request also contains approximately $1,651,608 in capital expenditures for police vehicles, equipment, and software, golf maintenance equipment, and $80,000 for a new golf course cart barn. Citywide infrastructure, including $15,000 for replanting islands in the downtown area, $15,000 for ball field renovations, $22,000 for renovation of the 3 of the 5 tennis courts, $6,000 for an electric car charging system, $9,770 to replace the electrical panel at the country club, and $9,500 for a new pool vac. However, the budget impact of this fiscal year will be $464,029, since $1,470,472 of the capital expenditures will be paid through a 5-year lease with an annual payments of approximately $322,893. 8. Budget includes $45,000 for the city's lobbyist. 9. The Public Works budget includes $25,000 for citywide tree planting and $125,000 for tree trimming. 10. City Council budget includes a $35,000 funding request from CMI for next fiscal year, $14,000 for the River Cities Festival, and $29,000 request from the Historic Museum for construction and storage costs. 11. The police budget includes $105,926 in retirement payouts for 3 officers. Public Works includes $11,955 in retirement payouts for 1 employee, and the Senior Center includes $49,979 in retirement payout for the director.
Okay. All right, we got that for reference so that we can go. We're going to go to the 8B. This is to set the millage rate, correct?
8B is to set the millage rate.
But we're going to go to 8C first. I don't know why we got to go backwards, but maybe we could fix this for the next time.
No, Mayor and Council, you have to address the millage item first. You table that. You discuss.
That's what I mean. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go open up 11B. And do I ask I'm going to tell you we're going to table it and go on to 11C? Can I just do it?
8B, sir. 8B.
8, I'm sorry, 8.
Yep.
That good enough for you?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, we're on 8C. We're talking about the budget. There was discussion last time that Councilman Best wanted to reduce the budget a little bit.
Yes, sir, and I
mean the millage.
The millage rate, yes, sir.
Do you have any ideas of what maybe in these 11 items that maybe we can take out to reduce, and besides just reducing it, for instance, is there anything that could be put off till next fiscal budget? Or I have one idea, but I'll let you go first since it's you want to start it.
Well, these are pretty well cast in concrete. This is what we've been discussing for the last 6 weeks. I don't want to step on anyone's toes here in terms of going down on this. It's just my thought that the 100, as I mentioned 2 weeks ago, that with 121 in surplus, to kick it down to 110, which would basically represent if I'm correct, Willie, 7.350 millage rate instead of what we're proposing is a 7.3575, which is unchanged. To get back to the community, I think matters here.
Okay.
And I don't want to stand on anything of these 11 items because I read through these like 3 or 4 times this week and I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
You're going to make a motion?
I will make a motion that we reduce the millage rates ever so slightly, just to give back to the community.
I'll second it.
What's the number?
I would propose that we go to 7.3.
Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's not a motion at this time, so we're talking about the budget. It's simply consensus to adjust the budget so that when we go back to the millage rate, we'll make that.
So right now, do we have consensus?
I have no change to the 11 items. If that's your
Okay.
question.
All right. So the budget is what we have. The budget is the way it's going to be. Everybody agrees with that. What's on the table right now is consensus to consider what number? 7 point.
What's your millage?
My number 7.350, which would
7.350,
which would go from
Now, that rate, you'd still have a surplus of 112,736.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Now, do we want a consensus to? Well, do I need any consensus right now to do that? We can just
essentially
we can vote on the budget. No, we can't.
So what you're doing right now is, if there's consensus to do that, you're conceding to the budget being reduced by the factor that.
All right, so I'm going to ask for a motion to reduce the budget on Councilman Best's request.
If there are no other changes to the budget,
right,
you table the budget conversation and you go back to the millage.
Okay, so there is no other changes to the budget, so we're going to table this now and go back to the setting of the millage rate.
Right. I'll go ahead and read that into the record. You have a public hearing. Once that's approved, you go back to the budget item, and then that's approved with the modification, which.
All right, now, this is a public hearing. Do I need people to talk after we set the millage rate, or they could talk now?
For both. So I'll read the item back into the record if we're done off with.
We're done with no comments on the budget. Okay, sir.
Mayor and Council, it's a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, adopting the final millage rate for fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2008, and ending September 30, 2019 at 7.350 mils. Give me 1 second, because do you have what the rollback rate's going to be now?
Yeah, the rollback rate is the same. The decrease is 6.4. The increase is 6.46.
Okay, establishing a rollback rate of 6.9043 mils, which is a increase in property taxes of say that number again?
6.46.
6.46. Providing for incorporation of recitals and providing for an effective date.
All right.
If you're
All right,
public hearing.
now we're opening up for public hearing, and this is for both to set the millage rate and the budget. Do we have anybody who wishes to speak on this item?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. You're rolling it back. What are you eliminating? Because you're not going to have a surplus of 121,000. You're going to have a smaller surplus. Does that impact or affect any of our programs or our departments?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. No, what we're doing right now is just cutting the millage rate.
Cutting the surplus.
We're cutting the millage rate to accommodate and we're going to lower the surplus. But everything that was voted on and discussed to put in the budget is in the budget.
Yeah, I think through the chair, if I might.
If we do that, I mean, we still got to.
Yeah, we don't know. Through the chair, to answer Ms. Owens, no, it affects nothing. It is just what I know you did.
All right, now we're talking about setting the millage. I need a motion on the millage rate.
Motion to move to 7.350.
I'll second it.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Pedranata?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
Yes. Now, do we have to go ahead and make a motion for the actual budget?
Right now, you got 8C
That's
down.
8C. Okay.
Now, on 8C, this is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, adopting a final budget for the fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2018 and ending September 30th, 2019, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for expenditure of budgeted funds, providing for budgetary controls, providing for grants and gifts, providing for budget amendments, providing for an encumbrance, and providing for an effective date. There's Exhibit A will change. The general fund amount will now be $17,192,628. Okay, that's on both sides. That's for revenues and reserves and expense appropriations and reserves. And the total budget will now be $23,939,908.
Okay.
Public hearing.
I thought you said both at the same time.
Hold on a minute. I got that total is wrong.
Take your time, William.
It's not working.
That's why you always have to have paper to back things up. The cloud might float away on you.
Okay, the total budget is $23,931,307.
367.
Yeah.
All right, say it straight out.
23,931,367.
Okay. All right. Now, it's a public hearing. This is about the budget. Would anybody wish to speak on the budget? Anybody? Okay. I close the public hearing. I entertain a motion to approve the second reading of an ordinance.
Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, amending Chapter 150 of the city's Code of Ordinances, modifying Section 150.070 Central Business District, revising permitted, prohibited, and conditional uses, updating Section 105.002 definitions, providing for implementation, providing for incorporation into the code, providing for severability, and providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date. Mayor and Council, this is second reading. Chris is here. We went ahead and revised.
Before, I'm going to say, but does anybody want to speak on this? No? Anybody? It's a public hearing. Anybody? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Go ahead.
The only thing we did changes was as requested. We originally had sporting goods with the sale of weapons and ammunition. It was requested that those uses be moved to a conditional use, so we've done that. We've added weapons and ammunition as a conditional use in that zoning district. That left sporting goods standing alone in the permitted uses, which we removed because, again, as many of the other uses, it's already covered by retail uses. We did not need to list it again. So you'll see it disappear, but the use is still a permitted use.
Gotcha.
Sporting goods remains a permitted use.
Gotcha.
I think that's it. Oh, and we talked about the procedure, but we didn't have it established in there that this is a review by the Zoning and Planning Board for a recommendation for a decision by the City Council, and then the City Attorney added some guidelines under which the conditional uses would be reviewed.
Can I go over those real quick, Mayor?
Yeah.
Again, the Planning Board shall review and recommend to the City Council, which shall hear and decide applications for a conditional use. Such decisions may include denial approval as recommended by the Planning and Zoning Department and/or the Zoning and Planning Board, or approval with additional conditions. Conditional uses shall only be permitted upon the approval of the City Council. Conditional use may only be approved if, number one, the requested use is specifically established as a conditional use in any given zoning district. Number two, the requested use is compatible with and not deleterious to adjoining uses. Number three, the requested use will not cause substantial injury to the value of other property in the area immediately surrounding the requested use. Number four, the requested use is to be operated in such a manner as to protect and promote the public health, safety, and welfare. And number five, any potential deleterious effects caused by the requested use can be eliminated or substantially mitigated by the imposition of and compliance with operational conditions. In granting the conditional use, the City Council, in addition to the standards enumerated in this section, may prescribe appropriate conditions that may eliminate or substantially mitigate any potential deleterious effects caused by the requested use. A requested use shall be made at an appropriate form prepared by the Planning and Zoning Department, as may be modified from time to time, and the City reserves the right to request additional information from time to time. An applicant for a conditional use that desires to challenge a final decision of the City Council for a corresponding application may appeal to the Circuit Court in informed Miami-Dade. So essentially, actually, Chris and I just discovered recently that our code from time to time has referenced conditional uses, but there was no process or procedure in place. And certainly, again, with the establishment of these conditional uses, we wanted to go ahead and clean that up as well. So there's a process in place, no different than a variance procedure. The idea is simply we've identified uses that we have concerns in their placement, whether in the commercial sector or because it abuts residential. And essentially, the charge of the Planning and Zoning Board, and certainly all of you in hearing these conditional uses, is that you hear the use, perhaps with feedback from the community, feedback from the Planning and Zoning Department. If there's anything that could be mitigated, whether it has to do with delivery times or operational hours, all those things become conditions that are associated with the approval, and they follow that use as long as it's there. So I think that we've buttoned up all the issues that you've raised on first reading. If you have any other questions, we're happy to field them now.
I have one comment.
Sure.
If the planning board, if that board denies the use, is there a mechanism for them to come up to council if it's denied?
It's only a recommendation, and it comes to all of you for a hearing regardless.
Okay, no matter what.
No matter what.
Well, it's a recommendation. It isn't a. It isn't where it's like coming up for somebody coming to us for variance where it was denied.
It's a little bit different, the variance process, but at the end of the day, it's a recommendation. This is a recommendation.
Okay, I'm clear now. Thank you very much. Anything else?
I have some questions, Mayor. Surprise. Surprise.
You said it.
First, Chris and Dan, thank you very much for, I know this is like a massive amount of work to narrow it down to this. I have some questions regarding, like I noticed on, under, what is personal services. It says barbershops, beauty parlors, physical therapy clinics, and then we've removed a line, deleted, no physical therapy clinic shall be open for business between the hours of 10 and 6. a.m.? That was in the code before, specifically for physical therapy
Correct.
clinics and not, okay. Where would a massage parlor fall in? Would that be under this person?
In that category, yes.
Okay. So ostensibly, a massage parlor is a personal service and would be allowed
That's
right
correct.
now. Okay, is there, and I'm just throwing this out for the council to think about, should we consider having, and I don't know if we can put this in somewhere, massage it in. That's too funny. That was totally unintentional.
Didactic.
That's too funny.
Duplicitous.
Sorry, that.
I'm catchy.
It's too funny.
That if there's a business, possibly, you know, some of the new businesses that are going to be in the city and all this, where we feel that in the evening hours, it seems to be okay during the daytime, but the evening hours is a problem. Is there a way that we can add a phrase in here where the council has the opportunity to determine that certain businesses may not operate between these hours, say 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.? Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think you can. I don't
think-
think you could pick and choose like that.
Right. I mean, I think the idea is to put something like that would probably be considered arbitrary and capricious.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody challenged our decision to regulate a business after the fact, we'd have to. I mean, it would be a difficult thing to accomplish. You're better off establishing a standard ahead of time. I mean,
Well, does anyone know why we had this specifically for physical therapy, limiting their hours?
Well, my supposition is that was for less than legitimate massage parlors.
Okay, but physical therapy isn't necessarily massage. You know, you could still have a massage
Correct.
parlor.
Right,
Absolutely.
That's the point I was going to make. I'm surprised they limited it to physical therapy
Right.
because I mean, this
Or it could be
area
a-
does have questionable massage parlor hours. Not necessarily Miami Springs, but I know that Virginia Gardens has one. Doral certainly has them as well. I mean, so if that's a concern, we could put a condition on the operation of.
Could we
of-
do under personal services, put a condition that personal services, unless I guess, could we do a thing automatically that personal services will be limited to 10 p.m., not allowed between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. or 11 p.m. and 6 a.m., and then make it conditional that if a business wanted to stay open for that they could bring it to us, and we would have that
Yeah, we could do
opportunity
that.
under personal services.
Yeah.
We just didn't want to make it onerous for the true legitimate.
Right, but if
physical
we do it
therapists
under
and
personal
massage.
services, and that way automatically those are the normal hours, but should a business,
I think that works.
Okay, so under conditional uses, we'll say personal services that seek to operate beyond the hours or between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. And if they'd have to come forward and explain their reason for operating and how they attempt to.
and it would be conditional, we can decide and the public can have a chance to voice their opinion on it. Right?
It's reasonable.
What kind of personal service are you thinking of that,
Yeah, I don't-
that we would need an exception for?
Well, obviously,
massage-
there
like
was,
massage
it was
parlors?
here, massage parlors, because it was physical therapy. We already had it in there, saying they
Right.
couldn't operate, so there was some thought given to that, or we had some issue
Okay,
with that.
but you're saying that we should leave it where there are some personal services that are at the discretion of the business and it will come up for us to decide?
What I'm suggesting is that this section not necessarily be deleted, but it be deleted that it applies to physical therapy, that it applies to all personal services, that they shouldn't operate between, it could be 11 p.m. to 6. It's something, I mean, it's pretty clear that the intent here was to address something that was happening or the possibility that something was going to happen.
So that all
might-
personal services are, okay.
If they should, a personal service decide they want to stay open till midnight, they have the opportunity to come to the council, we can hear the reason, the public can be, have an opportunity to let us know how they feel about it, and and it could be granted if approved.
Anything else? Does we want to?
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. It
I
offers
just
it
don't-
offers
I
a
just don't really
different.
see the need, but
It offers a different.
I mean, if
It offers a little bit of a
If we need a
differentiation.
motion for that, to put that in there?
Just on the motion, just with the amendment.
Okay, make a
to
motion.
approve as amended by.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve this with an amendment of.
As amended, just
As
put it.
amended.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I get a second?
You have a second, Mayor.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
No.
Councilman Bass?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Petralanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bain?
No. Okay, anything else on this resolution? Okay, we go to D. Oh, we have to first vote on the resolution. I need a motion to, besides the amendment, do I need a,
Oh, no, I'm sorry, to clarify.
That included.
That's already included.
Were you voting on right
I was
now?
only voting on the issue of the amendment.
But with the change, right?
Yes, that's all I was voting
That's what
on.
I thought.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, the motion that I was to approve the ordinance
As
as amended with the personal.
Oh, well,
services
okay.
protection.
All right, then it's done.
Yes, then it's done.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay, just making sure in case anybody wanted to switch their vote or anything.
Yeah, no. Billy's got it.
Okay, so this.
It's okay.
You got it.
Then this would be another ordinance, correct? An ordinance of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, amending Chapter 150 of the city's Code of Ordinances by updating Section 150.041 R1A District, 150.042 R1B District, 150.043 R1C District, 150.044 R1D District, updating and clarifying single-family residential property requirements, updating Section 105.002 definitions, providing for implementation, providing for incorporation into the code, providing for severability, and providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date. Mayor and Council, this is a second reading.
I open this up for public. Any who wish to speak on this item? I close the public hearing, and I'll entertain a motion for second reading.
This second reading only, no changes.
No changes. So I need a motion to. Do I get a motion?
Motion to move, sir.
Do I get a second?
Second.
Do I have discussion?
None, sir.
Any questions? Call a vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda?
Yes.
Mayor Bay?
Yes.
Mayor, before we leave this, if I might.
I gave you the opportunity.
No,
to
this is,
discuss.
no, I'm fine with the vote, not a problem with that. It's just a question, though. We spent time and we worked this all up and everything and put the template in there for that particular section. The new building that's being put up, I've heard this from a lot of people in town, that's the reason I bring it up. Were we entering the city over the bridge from Hialeah? That dental clinic that's going in? Didn't we say that we would hope that they would choose to use an element of Pueblo and
Unfortunately, that
was that before the fact?
Yes.
Before,
that's,
yeah.
that's what my fear.
Permitted,
That's
yeah.
what my fear was.
Yeah, it was designed and permitted well before we began
Yeah.
the overlay discussion.
Yeah. Okay, that was all, Bill.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
8E, second reading of an ordinance. Oh, we did that. Okay, I'm all mixed up here. All right, we go to consent agenda. There aren't any consent agenda items. We're not spending anything there. We go to 10A, discussion of installation of 10 bike racks.
Yes, Mayor and Council, during a prior meeting where we discussed the possible purchase and installation of bicycle racks at 10 locations throughout the city, see page 1 for listing of proposed locations, Council requested that staff reach out to Lime to see if they could cover part of the cost or all of the cost of this project. Staff contacted Lime, and on page 2 of your packet, you will find their email response in which they do not provide funding for bike racks, since this is a dockless system, which helps keeps their operating costs down. Based on this, we're providing on pages 3 and 4 of this memo a bike rack that Tom Nash has found that will be able to fit not only the current line bikes, but personal bikes that riders may want to park as well. The total cost will be $2,195 for the 10 racks, and this can be funded with CITT funds. If Council approves this expenditure, Public Works will order the racks and have them installed by in-house staff.
A motion?
It'll clean it up. Motion to move.
Do I get a
Second it.
second? Any discussion? I'm only going to vote for this because it's coming out of CITT.
Well,
If it was coming out of the budget,
Then I'm
out of our
sure-
money, I wouldn't vote for this.
Mayor, I would just like to mention that it's true, and Lime Bikes, I understand they're part of it. They're, putting in the city dockless bikes. This is something that I've heard from residents who would just like in areas where we have the bikes and they kind of line up and then the wind knocks them down and it looks kind of messy.
It's awful.
They would like areas that, the bike racks are there and they know that they can look over there and there's probably going to be bike racks, and when they finish, there's an area where they can walk a little further to take them to. So
I understand the
it's-
point.
It's something
but
that
it's
the residents have asked for more than the
it's-
Lime Bikes.
I know, but it's still a profitability situation for a public entity. They have to use our facilities, to go ahead and use our facilities, and as an advantage to take care of their bikes. And I don't, the way this bike situation came about was it was supposed to be standalone, free, and not cost the city any money. Now it is. And the only, and I might just change my mind and vote no on it anyway, because that's not what, it's like me coming from my business, coming to this place and asking for something outside of my business that's my responsibility to help me. So
Okay,
that's my feeling.
Let me
I
just
understand your
clarify.
point. Your
Line
point
Bikes
of,
has not asked for this at all.
I know.
I've
You're
asked
asking for it.
I've asked for it because residents have
I know.
voiced that, you know, it would be nice when, and they voiced how over by Curtis and the Circle, we have a bike rack there, and the bikes, you know, there's a place to leave your bike there if you just don't want to leave it just anywhere, you know, you can walk over there and place it. And also, like our city manager said, it's for the residents to use for their personal bikes too. So.
Yeah. That was put in this time.
You know, I think you kind of got to look at it like this in a way. It is principally CITI money. There's no question, and I'm of the same mindset as you relative to my thinking on this. But to step it up a notch and throw a few bucks at it to clean it up for the city, I think makes sense. That's why I support it.
We got a first and second.
Mayor, I'd like to say something. I don't think we needed this until we brought these bikes in here. And I kind of agree with the mayor. It's like bringing your own business and now asking for the city to pay for this because they don't want to pay it. We really didn't need it until all these bikes started coming up. And the whole thing, it was sold to us that it wasn't going to cost us any money. Now it is.
Right. Is this through the chair? Is this not a one-time cost?
It is, but it's still CITT money, and it's
right.
20.
And there'll be maintenance involved down the road.
And it's $2,300.
So
yeah,
Councilman, again, I want to stress that it has, Line Bikes has not asked for it. They're not even fund, you know, they're providing, they've stayed with their agreement of providing dockless bikes that can be used anywhere. This is something that residents have voiced, and I'm sure some of you have heard that it would be nice if we had orderly areas throughout the city where the bikes, not just those bikes, but other bikes can be stationed. So it's something totally on our part if we decide to do that. For providing bike racks throughout the city of Miami Springs is probably a pretty reasonable thing for us to do, especially through the CITT funds.
Okay, and frankly, I believe that if Lime Bike had any kind of, as you say, any kind of responsibility to help out the situation for having the opportunity to make a profit and money in our city, Lime Bike could have came up with a little bit of money to say, okay, we'll put $500 for it. Just as you're saying that we're doing it for our residents and everything, it would have been very nice of them to come up and say, you know what, we'll kick in $250 or we'll kick in $500.
Totally agree with you.
Huh?
I totally agree
okay,
with you.
well,
it would have been nice.
So
for them to do
I
it
mean,
totally.
your side of the story is fantastic, but my side of the story is just as good.
CITT money is money.
Yeah.
It's money from our taxpayers.
It's
I don't care where it's coming from the budget. It's just money we could use for something else.
Well, right, but it's also money, right, we could use for something else. I couldn't agree with you more. But is this a situation that maybe, have we asked the question of them yet?
Yes, they asked. It's
Yes.
right there.
And emphatically no.
They said no.
Emphatically.
That's not part of their model.
I read what it said, but
that's not part of their model. So why do we infringing in their model and adding these things?
because we want the town
forcing them.
because we want the town cleaned up a little bit.
I have never. No one has approached me about.
I've heard this from at least 15 residents since the Lime Bikes came in. The orange ones, I heard it too.
The orange ones.
The orange ones especially, but
Council Best, you vote your way.
I mean, you
I'll
got
vote
people
mine.
coming to town. There's 4 or 5 bikes laying on their side and stuff. I mean, come on.
But
is that the kind of town we
want?
want?
As Councilman Petrolanga stated, this was not a problem in this city for bikes laying around on the ground until these.
When we didn't have them.
When we didn't have it. The problem was created with the program.
Right.
So because the program was successful, evidently.
So I guess we have
I mean, not successful enough for the orange bikes to stay in here.
Well, I guess what we have to ask ourselves is it worth $2,100 to clean it up?
The thing is that it's like anything else. You know, everybody up here talks about people calling them up. calling you up about calling you up, but
Well, not calling. I see it, seeing people around town.
you
and
see
stuff,
the
yeah.
bikes laying on the ground, and I knew it was going to be an issue when we started this because of the way they pick them up and everything. It seems like the Lime bikes do a better job of collecting their bikes during the day.
I agree
But
with
the
you.
orange bikes were here
Well, they were
laying
all over the
around
place.
all over the place for a
Yep.
long time.
Yep.
The point is that we wouldn't be talking about these bike racks if we didn't have lime or orange bikes in this city.
I think it's
and that's my point.
right. I
They created
understand
a
your.
problem
I
for
understand.
Only
us.
thing
They're
that-
making money.
The only
and they're
thing
not
that
chipping
makes
it.
me, I'm considering, I'm on the fly here. The only thing that makes me consider this is because it's come out of CT money. But then Councilman Petrolong makes a good point that the CITT money could be used for something else that
Sure
is
can.
needed.
But this is okay.
Okay, we got a first and second?
You got it.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
No.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda?
No.
Mayor Bain?
No. We go to 10B.
At our August 27th meeting, council suggested adding an additional level to our sponsorship flyer in the amount of $1,000 in the hopes of attracting local donations in addition to the larger tiered ones. Attached is the package with the revised flyer along with a cover letter and supporting documents detailing the project design. This is the package we intend to send to organizations with the anticipation of gaining their attention and donating funds towards one of the sponsorship levels for naming rights of our new building. We have proposed 4 levels of sponsorship as follows. $500,000 is the platinum level, $250,000 is a gold level, $25,000 is a silver level, and $1,000 is the bronze level. As discussed at the meeting, we are proposing the $500,000 platinum sponsorship level as naming rights to the building for 10 years. However, if someone is interested in a $1 million sponsorship, we could offer the naming rights of the building for 20 years instead. The $250,000 gold level will provide for naming rights to one of the larger interior rooms in the facility, while the $25,000 silver level will provide naming rights to one of the smaller interior rooms. The new level of $1,000 will provide for area naming rights, for example, nameplates on the fitness machines, sofa, tables, etc. We are currently asking for council discussion, proposed changes and additions, if any, and approval of the sponsorship program package so that we can begin distribution immediately.
Well, I'm going to give $1,000. They named the men's bathroom after me. No, that's no. There's a good one, Bain latrine. That's pretty good.
Bain urinal.
Okay, all right, that's enough. I don't know if the $500,000 is enough to name the building after. I
don't either.
I think it should be $1 million for the building, and the $500,000 for maybe the main room to eat, the
dining room.
The main dining room,
A lot of money.
and then
What's a reasonable?
then go down the line.
Yeah, what's a reasonable percentage for considering the cost of the building in terms of to?
Well, I think that we've discussed this before, that the $1 million, I was told when we had meetings internally, would be a legitimate price for naming the building after.
It's not even 25%, right?
I mean, I think that the conversations that we have had factor in the population that comes to the senior center and its location. I mean, so we're a hamlet and it's surrounded by residential. It's not off of a main road. It's not anything like.
I remember now
but
you're saying that.
The only thing I would say is that whatever the numbers are, obviously the administration will be given the opportunity to talk to potential donors and come to you with, hey, listen, they want to do $450,000, and then you ultimately would be the approvers of a packet. It's not just they're going to run off and get somebody to sign on the dotted line for these amounts. Just to give them some flexibility, and ultimately these are the initial asks, whether it's $1 million or $500,000, and then they come back to you with the actual approval for the packet, for the naming, for the amount, etc.
Okay, I'll just go with what it is.
Could I add? Well, I wanted to add something else. I tend to agree with you, Mayor. I think $1 million would be more appropriate, but I understand.
It's a lot of money.
What you're saying too, Dan, that it's it's a difficult thing to sell when there's not a lot of traction of people going by in that area, and we do want to encourage sponsorship. But perhaps the 500,000 platinum sponsorship, making it for the building for only 5 years instead of 10, because 10 years is a long time. At 5 years, that would be 100,000 per year, and then the million sponsorship for 10 years. I'm just throwing that out to the council for consideration. And that way, or $1 million for the whole building for, longer term.
I'm going to propose to not make it complicated. Let's go ahead and do what they have proposed here and see what comes of it.
Yeah, see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Well, yeah, the only trouble with that is, and yep, I mean, that's fine, but the only trouble is if somebody starts laying money and you can't change it.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
there might be some flexibility with the
Well,
people.
you cannot take the money. You don't have to take the money.
Yeah, but no, you're going to take.
We'll
the
take
money.
it.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
because you brought up a good point.
Let's just.
But you can't, though. I mean, somebody throws $500,000, and you can't say, okay, now, yours is demeaned, and somebody that gave $1 million, it's going to be different. You can't. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Let's leave it.
Let's approve and see if we get any callers. And if we get a $250,000 caller or something like that, then maybe we can consider changing the top number or something.
Before we yeah.
Like Dan said, let's get this out, see what comes back. If anything attractive comes out, I'll come back
I need
to
a
council.
motion for this. Motion? Do I have a motion?
Motion to move item, what is it?
10B.
10B, forward.
Do I get a second?
Second.
Second.
Now, I have a question, and I'm sure it's, like, if you have the rights to use these facility for meetings and stuff like that, is it first come, first serve? For how long?
This is just for it's not the use of the building.
I think,
this is just.
Well, no. As part of the package, if you read part of the, for example, the $250,000 large room naming rights, free access to the room for meetings, trainings, or presentations.
Okay.
So if you have a big company that wants to come in and do a presentation like Mount Sinai, we'll give them, and it'll be on first come, first serve.
Sir, and for how long do we do this? For 5 years, 10 years?
Well, that's one of the things we need to, the way we're setting it up, as far as the naming rights, for 500,000, we were planning to do 10 years.
Right.
And if it's $1 million, 20 years. So that's what we're looking at.
And that's the use of the rooms and everything also.
Yeah, for that period of time, correct.
Okay. Good.
Got it.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Fernandez?
Yes.
Yes. We have 11A, first reading of an ordinance.
Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, creating Chapter 80, Special Events of the City Code of Ordinances to provide for related regulations, permits, and outdoor event requirements, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date. Mayor and Council, this is something that the administration and our office has been working on. We have had events over the years, and there has not been a formal process for intaking events, making sure that all the different events are following the same, insurance requirements, financial requirements, vetting through the different departments. We've had the benefit of having some long-standing events, like the River Cities, for example, so everybody really knows about that event. But from time to time, we'll have another event that comes in and says, I want to do a 5K, I want to do this, I want to do that. The idea is to codify regulations so that somebody that wants to do an event, there could be a tab on the website, these procedures can be explained, there'll be the same forms over and over again, whether they need alcohol, all those things. It's a standard practice for municipalities to have a special event ordinance. This is our first stab at it. I think that we've got to adjust, for example, what exactly is exempted from it. City events would be exempted from it. Events that are housed in a venue that already has assembly functions like a church or a school. But the idea would be that we establish a criteria for these special events, and we touch on everything from intake all the way through firework regulation. Even though, as far as I know, I think at any given time the city's been the only one that uses fireworks, legally anyway. But it's for your consideration. We're going to continue working on it if it passes this evening on first reading, and we welcome your feedback to try and tie this down as best as possible to make it a streamlined process.
I'd like to have this thing, I'd like to have more input as far as having like a presentation on it.
Okay.
I would like to have a presentation on it, just on this item, next meeting.
Okay. We
And
can-
go over everything step by step.
You got it.
All
Would you
right?
like we can defer this item?
I would like to defer
Table.
this item, and I would like to go over
Defer
it
for
like
the next
it's not necessarily a special meeting or workshop meeting, but an actual, just to take the 15 or 20 minutes to go over this the proper
problem.
way.
Absolutely.
Would Council
Fine.
advise me?
I was gonna-
We're gonna table this and do it that way.
What I'll do is, we'll run through what's included, the process that we anticipate, any conditions, and if there's any feedback there, we'll take that and keep running with it.
Right.
You got it?
All right, thank you.
We can take a look at that coming into the next meeting.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. We go to a resolution.
This is a
C.
resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, supporting the School Board of Miami-Dade County's endorsement of Governor Rick Scott's recommendation to redirect unused Coach Aaron Fees, Coach Aaron Fye's Guardian Program funds to school districts in support of school safety measures, providing for transmittal and providing for an effective date. In your packet, you have the email that I received from Iraida from the school board, and this is talking about those $58 million that was sitting out there, and they wanted to see if they redistribute that to the school districts so that they can pay for additional security. So she asked us for support, and that's what this resolution is about.
A motion?
Can we get further definition on this, Bill, before you call the vote, sir?
I'm not gonna call a vote. I'm gonna have a motion and a second discussion,
okay.
like Robert rules of law.
Well,
I have a motion to go forward with the resolution, with the recommendation.
Do I have a
Endorsement.
second? Do I have a second? Second. Okay, further discussion, go ahead.
I'd like more definition on this, please.
What we're doing, you mean on the?
Yeah.
What we're doing is supporting the initiative to try to get that $58 million released.
Right now, the legislature turned
Let
down.
me finish. To get that money released so that they can use it for law enforcement of the school. And that's what she's trying to do when she brought it up here. And that was the board of 12. 2 of them are from our county, that's Manny Diaz and Oliva. And they gave us the numbers for our residents to call to see if we could get that money released to help with the position of the police departments within the schools.
What's your concern?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, that's what it is.
Mhm.
In other words, they're only getting, according to them, they're only getting $10 million to accommodate what they need to, the support they need to go ahead and police the schools. Their feeling is if that money's released through the state, not just to the Miami-Dade County, that funding would help them accommodate what is supposed to be, what was given by law for them to do for the schools to keep it safe. It's money sitting there, what they're gonna spend it on, big government, what the hell they're gonna spend it on, I don't know. But it'd
When have
be
we,
something.
my question, I suppose, becomes, haven't we seen this before?
Oh, well, I can't help you there. Seen it a lot of times. But we got a first and a second, call a vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Pedrono?
Yes.
Mayor Bay?
Yes. No other business, city attorney, anything from you?
Yes, Mayor and Council, as you all almost certainly know, at this point, a former police officer has sued the city, and in an abundance of caution, while we're still coordinating with outside counsel, the case has been assigned to Chris Stearns at Johnson and Selmo, their panel counsel for the League of Cities. They're handling the representation. I wanted to go ahead and make an announcement for the potential need for an in the shade session going forward. I'll have to coordinate with the administration, coordinate with all of you, and with outside counsel. But pursuant to Chapter 286, I have to make that announcement, and that's Christopher Dweck versus City of Miami Springs, Sergeant Albert Sandoval, and unknown City of Miami Springs police officers. Case number 118 CV 23320 KMW in the United States District Court of Southern District of Florida. There's nothing pressing at this moment that requires your attention, but in order to timely brief you or timely gather you all in the event that there is something that needs your attention, I just want to go ahead and make that announcement, and I'll keep you guys apprised of the situation.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything from the management?
Yep. You got my email today about the bus stop that's being removed on 36th Street over by the Clarion Hotel. They're doing a bus stop consolidation program, and there's about 50 bus stops countywide that are being removed. One of them only in Miami Springs. There's about 5 or 6 in Hialeah. So that's going to take effect September 28th. And that's all I have.
Any events or anything?
Just one by the Curtis Mansion on Saturday, October. I'm sorry. Never mind. It's in October.
Okay. Halloween.
Excuse me, before I forget. By the way, I emailed you already the feasibility study that I got today from FDOT on the pedestrian bridge by the Metro Rail. They estimate a cost of about $1,135,000. So I'm sending this to Commissioner Sosa's office, and she was involved in this. And I know there's CITT funds available for this, but we have to go through the TPO. So it's better to go through the Commissioner's office. So I sent her a copy of the study. And that's it.
Okay. Councilman Best, anything?
Yeah, just one thing, Mayor. Thanks. You know, there's been several municipalities in Miami-Dade County. I would say over the last 6 to 8 months, possibly a year, that have disallowed the use of plastics and straws and bags and stuff like this. I'm not going to say anything on this now any further than that, because there's a lot of reality to that in terms of the damage ecologically that this is causing worldwide. And I just like to maybe entertain our thoughts on this, perhaps in terms of an agenda item. I'll attempt to find somebody to come in, could come in here and speak intelligently on this for our consideration, and that, that perhaps Miami Springs would follow suit with that. That's all I have, sir.
Okay.
I just want, I'm not sure, did I see something about the Historical Museum having an event on Saturday coming up? Or did I imagine that?
It's the kickoff.
Oh, the kickoff, right?
Your annual kickoff is at the Women's Club at 7 Saturday.
Okay. That's all.
I just want to congratulate everyone up here. This is our 3rd time in a row that we lower our millage, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
William?
I believe
This
so.
is the, well, we were at 7.5. Last year we went down to 7.35, and this is the 2nd year.
This is
that we
second?
lowered,
I
yeah.
thought it was a third.
3 for 4, I think.
No, 2nd.
Okay.
We were at 7.5, and 2 years ago we went down to 7.3575 for this current year, and now we went down again.
7.25.
This is the 2nd year.
So back to back, I want to congratulate everyone up here for their hard work and accomplishing this. I remember when I first sat in this seat, it was right around when we had that bad recession. At the time, our mayor was a councilman. That was the first year that it was terrible. We had to raise taxes. It was terrible back then. But with hard work, we've been able to bring it down. And I want to thank everybody, congratulate everyone for doing their part doing this. Now, I have a question, Councilman Bass. How's your daughter's initiative going?
Well, interesting you ask. To date, we still haven't been able to hook up with Castillo's office.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's getting frustrated with it.
Really?
Yeah, she'll get telephone calls from her aide, and she's not available, and she'll call back. You know, it's just back and forth, back and forth. So I'm going to continue to work on this behind the scenes, but thank you for asking.
And let me ask you, could we reach out to another board member? Does it have to be her? If she
Well,
does?
she's our, you know.
Or she's not getting back to us?
The
Or
district.
she's not getting back to...
the 5th district, right?
Yeah. No, she is the board member, too.
I know that. So I'd like to make that work.
Right.
Give me a little time with it.
All right.
Thanks for
If
asking.
you need
though.
anything from us, let us know.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
That's all I have, Mayor.
all of
Thank
you.
Ms. Mitchell? Councilwoman Mitchell?
I wanted to thank William, Tammy, and the finance team, the whole team for the budget, for once again, the City of Miami Springs, and I don't know if the residents know this, but received a, William, what is it called? It's a budget
The
excellence
Excellence
award.
in Financial Reporting.
Excellence, which is the highest award that you can receive for your budget, and it just means that our city manager and team prepared an excellent budget again, which is easy to read, transparent, well documented, and I think that just means a lot for our city. I also wanted to thank FDOT for creating the environmental study free of charge for our city to evaluate the feasibility of the pedestrian bridge at Metrorail, connecting our city with Okeechobee Metrorail Station. As most of you know, to me it's just amazing that we have a Metrorail station that we can look at and we can throw a stone to, but we have to swim through a canal to reach, or we have to enter 2 other cities through Medley and up through Hialeah to get to. So a pedestrian bridge through that area funded through the TPO or whatever just seems like a reasonable stretch for us. And also it would tie in with recently Miami-Dade County approved the Ludlam Trail project. And in reality, we've had a Ludlam Trail for over 20 years. So their Ludlam Trail would just be an extension of our existing Ludlam Trail. And if it connects to the pedestrian bridge to Okeechobee, it'll be a loop throughout Miami-Dade County. So I think that would be a great plus. And then the other thing, Councilman Best, I just wanted to mention, I think you're right on with that thought about trying to at least minimize, I don't know about putting in laws, but at least minimize the use of plastics and all in our community. And there's actually a resident who had approached me a few months ago, and with her son, they've been working on a project, and they wanted to make a presentation for the city. So that might be a first start.
That's an excellent thought.
I think it's a really important project that her son has been working on making a presentation to our city about that.
Cool.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Excellent.
In that vein of this plastic straws and what you guys were talking about, I wasn't going to bring this up, but on our way to Tallahassee to go to see our hunting camp, for the first time I saw private land. Had to be at least 3,000 acres of solar panels put on for electricity. And I thought about it, as we go ahead and say about the environment and everything. It really hurt my feelings to see all that habitat for wildlife be taken away for them solar panels. And it was really something. In fact, it bothered me on the rest of my ride. And
is it a farm bill? I mean, with like
it
generation
private,
of power?
It was private land. It was planted pines, and they cut them all down, and they put that there. And I just think that sometimes when we talk about what we're doing with the environmental situation, we got to stop and think what the repercussions are with all that lead on all that land and stuff, the heat that the panels produce. I don't know if it's the answer. I'm not saying it isn't the answer, but boy, it was hard for me to come from a city that believes in planting trees and green and everything to see all that lead just being put out across the...
I think that would have bothered me as well.
So anyway, that's what I had to say. Good council meeting, good work on the budget. We all should have a good night tonight. And who's playing it tonight, Tom? Who they playing? Tampa. And I hope Tampa wins. This meeting's adjourned.
Go Fitzpatrick.
Go Fitzpatrick. That's right. He's got a nice beard.
Hey, you know what?
I had a dream too.
That it's your turn.
For what? The prayer?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.